fun. I'm looking forward to it. Uh, I'm a little bit anal, so bear with me sometimes. I'm an old 59-year-old guy that's in grad school. Don't ask me why. But so just bear with me. Uh, but I'm Jamaican. I have been around for a while, based on my age, and I kind of like to have fun. I'm a golfer, and I'm just one of those young at heart kind of person. And I went to Tribeca for 2 years just recently before I started because I have a golf management degree and I have a job to teach at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica. So I decided I'd get a master's and do a little business. So that's me.
Sweet. Yeah, I've been talking with Andrew a little bit. He's super cool. um, I know Brendan and Pamela. What's up? I'm Sam.
Yeah.
I'm in the MBA. You guys already know all this. I don't know what to do. But yeah, working at a marketing company right now. Work has been terrible this week. Um, I'm not sure what else. Just I'm trying to get a degree, make some money.
Yeah, relatable. I'm not doing much in terms of work. I work at Crumble Cookies, if y'all know what that is. It's really good. Y'all should come in and see me. I work like all the time. I work the morning to mid-afternoon shift, so come in and get some cookies. But it's been fun. It's kind of like a de-stressor because I literally just bake all day long, which is not the worst thing in the world to be doing. I literally start my day with making chocolate chip cookies, so it could be a lot worse. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of just like everyone else. I'm just trying to finish my degree and get a good job afterwards and get through this last 2 weeks so I can enjoy being with family and friends and stuff over holidays. So yeah.
Brendan, I am pretty much doing the same as everybody else, just trying to get a degree, and I'm trying to work in the finance department of a pharmaceutical company after school because I have a science background. So
Bank, dude.
that's what I'm hoping. So
In finance for a long time. I worked on Wall Street for 25 years.
Whoa.
Long trader, stockbroker, a financial planner.
yeah,
So it's fun. That field, it should be fun. It depends on what you get into. If you get into research or corporate finance, it could be exciting stuff.
well, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to ask you more about that later on at a different time.
No problem. I'll be glad to help.
Sweet.
So we haven't started recording yet, right?
Yes.
Good.
Awesome. So just to start off,
Recording now.
yeah, I guess we're ready. Just to start off, we are looking around for a house right now in this area in Cambridge, and we are interested in a house. To start with this, I guess we would like to know what some of your interests are. Like, what would you guys like to get out of this discussion? Is there anything in particular?
Well,
Yeah.
sorry, you can go.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, so obviously, we are interested in selling this house. Right now, we are not currently located in the area. So one of our main interests is kind of just to get a deal done quickly. Traveling is expensive and does take a toll on the financials of this. So we do want to make a deal quickly today, if possible. But, we also are interested in selling the house for what we think is a reasonable price, but also, taking into account what y'all think is a reasonable price. So kind of just hopefully meeting a common ground that makes both of our parties happy. So I think those are kind of the main interests. Brendan, if there's anything else you want to add to that.
Well, just going off of what she said, we moved out to Palo Alto, California, and we both have really good jobs over there, and we just recently got offered a deal to invest in a new software manufacturing company, And to be honest, we haven't had a whole lot of use out of our house in Cambridge since we moved. And we're just trying to sort of figure out a way where we can get the best deal possible for it, and hopefully make money from investing in this new hardware manufacturing company.
Awesome. Yeah. We actually heard that you guys were out in California and flew back for the weekend. So I mean, that's pretty cool that you guys are out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just curious. Why didn't you set a price on the house?
Well, we talked to our realtor in Cambridge, and we were given an amount that she thought that we could get for the house. But there's a lot of moving parts in this house. There's a lot of not moving part. There's a lot of different parts of this house, and I guess I would say, and there's a lot of different amenities that I would say that it's hard to put a specific price, because we put a lot of money into certain things in the house, and and there's a lot going on in the neighborhood as well. And based on recent averages that we've looked at, and based on a lot of different factors about the neighborhood and people around the house, and how it's an up and coming area, we felt like we would sort of allow the buyers to start off. If you want to add anything to that, Pamela.
Well, I heard something which, if you don't mind sharing, and you may mind, you said the realtor kind of gave you an idea of what the house was worth.
Mm-hmm.
And, we like the house, so let's be clear. There's some things, as you mentioned, that are very attractive to us about the house. And then there are some things that are not so attractive, such as the noise and the closeness to the highway.
Right.
And we are also in a position that we are willing to move quickly if we could come to some sort of agreement. So the feeling is sort of mutual, that we would like to get this done in a reasonable amount of time. We'd like to pay the lowest price possible, but that's typical. But we understand that we have to have a meeting of the minds, and we're prepared to do that. Some of the ideas that we had was to mention the noise. How did you find the noise while you lived at the location? How did you kind of deal with it? Because we're scared. That's one of our concerns.
Right.
Yeah. So, obviously noise is something that is not appealing to anyone most of the time. Living in a location that is so close to the highway, that's kind of something, that's always been there, and that we did have to kind of compromise with. When we bought the house, we figured that the amenities that the house had to offer, the size, the location, in terms of, the city, kind of outweighed the noise. It is a fact that some other houses in the neighborhood have a little bit more of a noise reduction just due to trees and blockage from other houses. So, unfortunately this house doesn't have that, but, we had come to the conclusion when we bought the house that the amenities and what the house offers outweighed the noise. So at the end of the day, we didn't find that it to be a huge issue, because obviously we still bought the house and have had it for quite a time. So at the end of the day, we didn't feel like it was a big enough issue to where we couldn't live there, if that kind of answers your question. Now, if noise is a huge issue, I wouldn't think that you would be looking at this particular house knowing that that would be an issue. So hopefully it won't be as big of an issue to y'all as it was to us.
Okay, thank you. I've made some notes here. Other things that I noticed was some of the concerns. I'm going to raise all our concerns just so you have. It's the unevenness of the driveway, and the fact that there's, over the garages a leaky roof.
Right.
Other clear issues. And we're willing to see if we could somehow put a a package together that would also answer some of those questions.
We absolutely had figured, had figured that you would raise those issues. I mean, we obviously know that there are some problems. We know about the leakiness. We know about the driveway, and we know about the noise too. And we figured those would be raised pretty quickly. And putting a package together is exactly what I feel like. I feel like we both want.
Yeah, and I'll second that with Brendan. We do have, we are aware of the issues, and like Brendan said, we did explore putting together options and packages that include fixing these issues, just in different variations depending on the deal that we can come to.
All right, so to get the ball rolling, I kind of have a little idea. I don't know if you've had any offers prior. One of the number that kind of is in our minds is around 370.
Okay. We have had an offer. We had an offer about 2 weeks ago, but it was a bit low for us. It was far lower than your offer, to tell you right off the bat. But we also realized that this house has a whole lot to it, that we feel like adds a certain uniqueness to it. And we kind of also feel like we would like to, if we can come to the right price, we also feel like we don't mind
Okay, so
doing
you
the repairs.
several times about special features to the house. Would you
Yeah.
mind sharing what you consider special features?
Yes, absolutely.
I had that exact question actually, so that's
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely. Our house comes with a comprehensive burglar and fire alarm system that we installed for no cheap price. It's a very good one. Our house, it has stucco walls. It's 5 bedrooms. It has an old-timey feeling, just an old-fashioned feeling. It's very warm inside. We have a wood-paneled library. We have a living room, a dining room, a modern kitchen, a greenhouse, and an aviary. And I would say that you cannot find very many houses in the area that have a greenhouse and an aviary. We also have 2 Malaccan cockatoos, which live in the aviary. And they are pretty expensive and a unique variety of bird from the Malaccan Islands. They have white feathers tingled with rose and a salmon-colored crest.
These are the birds that you guys have?
These are the birds that we have.
Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
I'm just curious. The way you sound, when you throwing those in a package, it sounds like you're adding those as features. I'm just curious.
Well, we didn't know if you all are interested in birds or not, but regardless, if you are interested, they sell for a lot of money. So we were trying to include them. So even if you weren't interested in these birds, worst case scenario, I think you'd sell them and you'd make a lot of money off of them. Pamela, you can go off of that if you want.
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of straight up answer the question that we did throw around offering the birds in specific packages. Again, they are expensive birds, so it would be probably more of expensive price for the house to include the price of the birds.
I was just curious.
Yeah, so I mean that definitely is an option we can explore. But yeah, just kind of going off what Brendan said about the house. The extra additions of the greenhouse, the aviary. Whether or not you want to utilize them as they are or not, it's still extra space that you can get. The aviary that we installed has tile floor, it has humidity control. It continuously supplies drinking water to the birds. So I mean, it is a very upscale and high tech room, that has an overall like physical appearance that you could transform into a different type of room if you so choose. The greenhouse, it would be amazing if you wanted to grow your own plants, grow your own food, and grow your own vegetables. I think like that would be super beneficial to have. It would save you money too, to utilize the greenhouse. And then I know y'all are MBA students, so the library, I mean, that is awesome, an awesome resource to have MBA students. I mean, you can find tons of resources in there. So I think that the additions to the house that we have could be very beneficial to your usage, depending on how you so choose to use them.
Now, I could see how some of these features could be advantageous. And
Mhm.
I will agree with you that there are some advantages. If we weren't using the greenhouse, we'd have to demolish it. So there's some disadvantages there as well. However, I tend to agree with you that there's some advantage. You mentioned the alarm system. Is that fairly new?
It was installed 5 years ago, but it is a $6,000 alarm system.
So our offer initially was at 370. I kind of didn't hear any sort of.
Well, we wanted to, at first our asking price originally is, obviously we don't think that we're going to get our first one, but we have set the house and what we want to be $450,000. Do I think
Yeah.
do I think 370 is extremely low? No, but I also feel like there's a middle ground that we can hopefully get to. And when it comes to I feel like we need to talk about when it comes to the noise. I don't know if you all knew this or not, if it was in if you knew this ahead of time or not, but there's a new Mystic Valley commuter a rail station, which is being formed within the next year. That should greatly reduce the noise in the area.
We did hear about that. So that is something that we have considered.
I didn't know if you guys knew about that or not yet ahead of time.
Yes.
So as you mentioned the price at 450, that's something that you had in the back of your mind.
Right.
71 Fishpond Lane sold a couple months ago for 435, and it had some distinctive features that were that mitigate some of the noise. It had more trees. It was in a better condition. So 450 wouldn't be a number that we would even consider, just because the comps would not justify that. I don't know if you would agree with that based on the most recent sale.
And just going off of that, we did do some research on this other house that sold, 71 Fishpond Lane, and it sold for $435,000, but was also 20% bigger. It had 20% more square footage, as well as brick. It had several trees to basically block out the noise. So we thought that with this house being smaller, as well as it needs some repairs, the noise is an apparent problem here. We thought it would be lower than this number for sure.
However, that house that you're referring to on 71 Fishpond Lane that sold, it had electrical and heating system problems that needed a complete overhaul. That was going to add significant money to that, to the people who bought that. And as well as that, I mean, that house, as far as we know, did not have several of the features that our house has that we just previously talked about. It doesn't have a library, it didn't have the greenhouse, and it didn't have the aviary, which we find to be valuable to our house. Pamela, if you want to go off of that at all. I don't know if she can hear me.
Maybe she might not be here.
The value on a property is in the eye of the beholder, right? Can we all agree on that? So
Absolutely.
some of the things that are valuable to you based on your needs wouldn't be as valuable to us. The aviary is something that we definitely will use because we're in the process of deciding whether or not we're going to buy some birds. We definitely would not have spent the kind of money that you spent on the aviary, so that is a plus. Okay, so we know that we're not anywhere near the 370. How do you feel about repairs? And what are your constraints as far as that is concerned?
With the price that you pay for the house, we're very willing to do the repairs beforehand, up to your standard for exactly what you want. I mean, we want to throw that in, and we also want to throw, I mean, if possible, if you're interested, we also, I feel like, would like to throw in the birds, which, by the way, the two birds together are worth $16,000, and they are breeding. They're breeding birds, and every baby that they produce is $5,000 to $7,000 a piece. Yeah, we don't know if you're interested in that, if you even want to go through that at all, in that to be a part of it. But how do you guys feel about what I just said?
Are those already incorporated in the 450, or is
They are. I mean, we had that would have been completely included in that. Yes.
Okay,
As well as the repairs to the house.
I see. So without those, it would be less. It would obviously be around 435.
Absolutely. I was about to say right around 435. Yes. Without those, if we kept them, I guess, and still did the repairs.
I see. Okay.
I have, so let's, you said time is of the essence. You also mentioned the fact that you had an investment opportunity that I am assuming that you are willing to make a deal so that you can move on that, probably recoup anything that you might have lost here. So let's say, for example, if time is of the essence, which it is to us, and I believe that an investment opportunity won't necessarily wait around for this deal to take a while. So I don't know if you'd agree with me, but we both are in a position that we should try to get something done here. Would you?
Absolutely. We 110% want to get something done today. We're willing to work. We're willing to, work around several things.
So what if we did, let's say, for example, the 370 that we said, as is, no repairs on your part, and pay 2% of your real estate commission, because as a seller, you pay the real estate commission.
And where would the birds be in this?
We didn't know about the birds, so it wasn't a part of my consideration.
Right. I think, Pamela, I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like 370 is lower than what we're wanting on this house.
Yeah, I have to agree, especially because there are other interests, the capital gains tax and the brokerage fee that we have to pay. There is, a certain amount that after all is said and done, that we would like to come out with. And unfortunately, 370 is just still too low for us because of those factors.
I'm paying a third of your brokerage as well. So it's plus the 2%. It's not just 270. I would.
Yes.
Correct. But there are other outside factors, having to travel here also had cost, some money, just getting deals done. Obviously we don't want to come out financially lower, or, our hope is that we give y'all the house at a value that is fair, but that also does not undermine quality, and what the house can give to y'all. And we don't want to come out, we feel, less than the house is. So that's where we want to meet, just with our circumstances and how we feel, how much the house is worth, just based on the updates that we have to it, the add-ons. We feel that it would benefit more to get a little bit extra than 370. But, I want to reiterate that does not come with advanced packages on y'all's end. We obviously want this to be a fair deal on both sides, and we want to make sure that if y'all are paying more, you're also going to be getting more from us.
Right.
So Brendan, I don't know if maybe you want to kind of jump back and maybe suggest something on our end.
I'll throw out a deal. So you guys don't have to pay the brokerage, any percent of the brokerage fee. We will do the repairs and we'll throw in the birds, which could be up to depending on if you want to breed them or not, right? It could be up to, I would say, a $40,000 value ish in the future, because you're going to get 16,000 for the 2 birds. Plus I would guess that you can get 7,000 for the babies. So we'll throw the birds in. Like I said, we're going to do the repairs. We'll throw around a fence around the house to hopefully reduce some of the noise before the commuter railway is established, because it is going to be established within the next year, but we know that it's not right away. So we'll throw that in, and then how about a price of $430? So cheaper than the house that sold right next door, or right a couple doors down. I'm sorry.
And you also talked about putting up a fence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is something that we discussed a little bit in our options, is maybe finding a way to basically solve this problem with the noise, such as like put up a wall or plant some trees. So that is something that we were a little bit interested in. Andrew, what are your ideas?
Let's write this number down and we'll consider that number.
It is a good option.
I feel like we're throwing, extra value into the house, depending on how you like I said, I'm trying to gauge on how you guys feel about the birds, but I can't tell yet. I can't tell how interested you all are. You didn't know about them before this, so I know it's kind of throwing you a little bit off guard, but
what kind of birds are they again? Could you remind me?
yes, they are Malaccan cockatoos.
Why does it keep doing that?
They are the largest and the most beautiful of the cockatoos, according to our research on them.
The largest and the most beautiful?
Largest and the most beautiful.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned birds, because we actually contracted to buy a pair of hyacinths, macaw. So
I got to be honest with you, these birds are better than those birds.
we're on a contract to buy those macaws. So while the birds are tempting, it's not a deal breaker, but it's not a deal maker either.
Understandable.
Just because we're on a contract already now to buy 2 birds. So I kind of feel like we need to put that out there so that you're aware.
Are you in a position to share with us the price that the contract of the birds is?
I'm in a position, but I don't think I would like to.
Not a problem. I was just throwing it out there.
But I appreciate that. It's just that it's a contract already, so it almost doesn't matter what the number is. We're honorable people, and when we sign a contract, we kind of feel like we're obligated to that contract. So,
No, not at all. I misunderstood. I didn't know if you had already signed the contract or we're just in discussion about it. But I will say, lucky that this house does have an aviary then for you.
Yes.
that is a positive. Let me ask, have you considered just renting the property for a year? Is that a consideration that's ever crossed your mind?
We talked about it and we discussed it, and we do not want to rent. I mean, I don't think that we're still considering that, are we, Pamela?
No, I think that option was pretty much off the table on our end after considering how the rental price versus how much worth is in the house. It kind of would just be money down the drain on our end.
And the fact of the matter is that we're trying to invest quickly in this new company, and the rent just wouldn't be a viable option.
The reason I asked that, an option could have been to rent the house for a year, refinance the house and take the money out. And just kind of start from, so you get your money up front. So that deals are packaged that way all the time. Like You said you own it for a while. I just asked that because, all right, so let's see, you're at 430 with the birds.
And just to specify those improvements, they include, you know, fixing the roof, right? They include the what else? Yeah, the driveway. And sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna add the walls, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, the repair in the garage as well as the driveway also.
in the walls, yes.
Awesome. So this option of 430 is with these two cockadoos. Have you guys discussed what you would be willing to offer if we did not want the birds with the house?
Well, to be honest, we didn't know if we wanted to take the birds back with us or not, but after talking about it, we decided that with the house already having a very feasible home for them, we thought it'd be best to include them. I mean, there are definitely options that don't include the birds. Obviously, it would be a slightly lower price on the house, but maybe just more incentives on your end for us.
Well, we would need to sell the house, I feel, for significantly more in order for us to keep the birds and make a new home for them, because
Yes, I'm sorry. I meant for more, not for less.
No, I wasn't. I didn't even realize you said it wrong. I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just saying we're going to need more because we're going to need to make a new aviary. Should we want to keep them? And in fact, the matter is that we also would need more money. You know, it'd take more time to sell them, and we.
That's fine, and that's appreciated. We certainly understand you don't want to be flying across the country with birds. Have you considered? Well, okay, the question that comes to my mind is, have you gotten an estimate of what the repairs would cost?
Yes, we do actually. So we did do some research with some contractors in the area and just some average prices that it would cost to fix. So, you know, because the issues with the roof and the wall in the garage are not, it's not a full roof, it's not a full garage, it obviously won't be as much to repair as a full roof. So after doing some estimating, we have found that it would probably be between $1,500 and $1,800 to repair the area of the leaking roof. Because it is not that big of an area, and then between $500 and $1,000 to repair the wall in the garage, and then for the driveway, unfortunately we did not have a cost for that. However, I presume it to not be more than a couple of thousand. So all in all, the repairs would not be a significant amount in terms of how much money would need to be put into them. So that is kind of why we do not have a problem offering that in our packages to repair those for y'all, because we would rather get the house for more and fix it and have it ready for y'all and have no issues than sell it for cheap, but then just kind of throw all the problems your way.
And another thing, we didn't know from our information, but we didn't know. Do you both drive cars? You know, do you both have your own cars? Because another thing that we thought about, you know, that is a possibility is us adding on and making it a 2-car garage as opposed to just a half-car garage. That could be another thing that we could possibly add on to make a deal here. You know, I don't know if that appeals to you. I don't know if you have 2 cars. I'm not sure. But
I appreciate that consideration, but we wouldn't want you to add to the expenses.
Yeah.
And we also wouldn't mind closing as quickly as possible. And
Right.
so I have a counter proposal to your proposal.
Let's hear it.
So what if we get to 415? You don't have to do the repairs, but you would leave $10,000 in escrow, not to exceed $10,000 escrow to cover the repairs. In other words, we would close, you would walk away, we would use the estimates that you have, or we would get estimates not to exceed $10,000, and we would take care of the repairs.
That is a very generous offer, if I do say so myself. I don't know, Brendan, how you feel, but that is very appealing on.
That's appealing to me as well. And where do the birds go into this offer of yours?
If you want us to take the birds off your hand, we'll be more than happy to do that.
It does seem as though you guys definitely do not want to keep them.
Honestly, we are just, because it got brought up, we just don't want to leave them out now. Whatever is easiest for both parties. We don't mind taking them if y'all really want them. I mean, there's already a house for them.
Right, and we're okay.
But, you know, we
Okay.
feel like we do have to discuss it because the birds in general are worth a lot. So we just want to make sure that we're not going to lose money by not having the birds in the long run. I know it seems like such like a weird issue to have to discuss, but it wouldn't be if the birds weren't worth so much money.
Absolutely.
What is your counter proposal? 'Cause, you know, we mentioned that we are on the contract for birds. I mean, what if we sweeten the deal and said, look, we will pay that, we'll keep the deal, we will try to sell the birds for you, we'll take care of them, and we'll split whatever profit we make from selling the birds with you. In other words, we can't keep both sets of birds. We're on a contract for a contract that we're going to honor. So either we would keep these birds or we would try to resell the birds that we're buying.
Right.
We would split that profit 50-50 with you just because we're going to have to keep them. We're going to take care of them until we sell.
I'm very interested in what he's saying. What about you, Pamela?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And we will put that in an addendum in the contract, and you guys are lawyers, so we're quite sure that you have the wherewithal to word a document that would protect yourself as well. And we would put a time frame on this offer to say that if we don't sell the birds within X, we would also pay you half of the value, the $16,000 that you put as what the birds are worth.
I like the offer. I really do, and I feel like it sounds like it's in both of our best interests to try to get something done here.
So
Yeah.
just to be clear, it's 415 with 10,000 in escrow for repairs.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to accept if Pamela would also like to. I think it's a very fair deal, and I think that, you know, it's something that, you know, beforehand we were trying to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, it's what we were hoping to get out of it, and I would also like to accept the offer.
Awesome.
Okay, sweet.
Thank you. I think this was actually very good for both parties. And we'd like to build and continue a relationship with you while we're taking care of potentially your birds. So,
Absolutely.
and we believe that some of the value that you could add to us going forward is we're new in town and we're also business people. So we'll probably be trying to build a relationship that will go beyond this.
We like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was great working with you guys. This was super easy, and it was, yeah, I mean, I don't think this could have gone any better, quite frankly.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been very nice to meet you guys for the first
My
time.
pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, I guess we're all in agreement, so that works.
Yeah, we could stop the recording and just chit chat. It was good.